What do you have to say for people who don't fit in your definition of man or woman? I'm a biologist. I understand the biology. Are you saying that a woman is only a person who has two X chromosomes and a man who is someone who only has an X and a Y chromosome?
I think that's the scientific definition, yes.
It's actually not, because there can be people with XXY. There can be Y chromosome inactivation. The way that this biology works is that you have genes. Those genes make proteins. Those proteins develop the traits that you define as men and women. They develop the features that you define as male. They develop the genitalia. But you can be a woman with female genitalia and be XY. You can be a man, but you can have XX chromosomes.
Yeah, I understand what you're talking about, Grace. You're talking about a very rare condition known as intersex.
Exactly, and that's a minority, a very small minority. And for some odd reason, they want to use that minority to justify reality.
100 people experience chromosomal differences in sex.
Okay, but not 1 in 100 have different genitalia or ambiguous genitalia.
And what do you say to those people?
Well, what you say is that's a situation that is not the norm. We're not saying that they're not people, obviously. As I understand it, maybe you know more about it than me, when you do have a truly intersexed person, at that point, either the parents or when they're old enough, they can decide which way they're going to orient themselves and they can get the appropriate surgery. But that's not what we're experiencing in our culture.
It's okay for people to decide their gender.
You are deciding people that are male, maybe feminine male, and you're saying, well, even if you have these male chromosome in your body, I still think you need to go to the other direction. That's a totally different conversation when you have specific people and you compare them to a minority called intersex.
In that situation, but that's not what we're talking about in our culture. What we're talking about in our culture are people with perfectly normal functioning sexual organs trying to have them removed and trying to transition to another gender, which is impossible scientifically.
Have you ever doubted that you're a man? You've doubted that you...
Oh, have I ever doubted I'm a man? No, I have never doubted I'm a man.
Then what do you say to a transgender person who has never doubted their gender? You're saying that we all change and that obviously transgenderism is a product of some kind of phase, but you've never doubted that you're a man.
How can you say transgender people are not doubting their gender when the definition of being transgender is that you're doubting your gender? I'm like, you're making it more confusing to people on your side.
Where's your development of this change?
Grace, I'm not denying there are people truly with gender dysphoria. I've already said that. What I'm saying is the way out of that problem is not surgery according to the data. Okay? Psychiatry is the way out of that problem.
I also don't agree with your statement that after surgery, you implied that transgender people are more likely to commit suicide after surgery. But the statistics say that transgender people are more likely to commit suicide because of arguments that you make that they're invalid.
No, I'm not saying they're invalid.
I'm just saying that you implied that it's the surgery that's causing...
No, it's not. What I'm saying is the surgery doesn't fix anything. That's the point. It's practically the same rate whether they have the surgery or not.
If you woke up and grew breasts today, would you like them to be removed? There are many.
Say that again?
Have you ever heard of gynecomastia?
I had it.
And so did you have that fixed?
Yes, I did.
And did that make you feel affirmed in your gender and comfortable in your body?
No, when I was in the Navy, nobody knows this, by the way. Jesus, now I'm revealing I need a HIPAA form to sign here or something.
You don't have to talk about it.
No, what I'm saying is, yes, I've had that myself and had it surgically removed when I was in the Navy. Yeah.
And do you feel more comfortable in your body and more affirmed in your gender because of that?
Well, it wasn't a gender thing for me. It was the fact, well, I can't even get into it now because it had nothing to do with my gender. Okay. So it had to do with the fact that it looked really odd. Let me just put it that way.
Person, he has gynecomastia, whatever it is, because he is a man. So it has nothing to do that he is a man. It's just he sees something that he's not comfortable with. And it was never meant to not make him feel like a man because he never doubted himself that he was a man. He just wanted to remove it.
If we truly care about people, are we going to try and force them down a road, particularly as children, into a solution to a problem which is proven not to be a solution?
You just said that having that surgery made you feel better about yourself.
That has nothing to do with transgender surgery. I wasn't changing my sex.
She actually believes she has a gotcha moment for a man that wasn't even trying to change his sex. A lot of people don't talk about the desistance rate. This has come out at Telegraph. Look.
According to the research we have today, desistance rates, this is not detransition, desistance is different. They could be as high as 95%, ranging between, I think, like 65 and 95. Not the exact numbers, but around that high. 95%. What desistance means is if there's a child who is exhibiting gender dysphoric symptoms, by the time they go through puberty, it's gone. And that means that non-intervention has the highest probability of success in helping these kids. That's right, non-intervention, puberty.
And that is why people are talking about this, because we want to have empathy for certain people, but we also want to understand the path that you're taking, that sometimes we don't think that path is as empathetic in the long run as you're saying.
I wasn't changing my sex. I was having breast tissue removed. Okay? I was always a man.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? So...
And say that I have XY chromosomes, but I'm born with female genitalia and female body types, but I believe I'm a man. Should I not be allowed to have that breast tissue removed?
As an adult, you can do whatever you want.
Yes, that's fine.
My problem is with the children. That's where I'm having a real problem.
Is there a magic button at 18 that instantly makes you feel like you know who you are and absolutely what your gender is?
No, well, I think for women it's probably like 15. For men it's 37. To be honest with you, okay? Because men don't develop as quickly as women, all right? But no, we've just chosen 18 kind of as the adulthood crossing point, although for some issues it's 21, like drinking, okay? So, no, maybe it's later than 18, okay? My big problem, and I would say this to somebody who's 37, that the surgery does not appear to help anyone. And if you want more data on this, you can go to sexchangeregret.com. Sexchangeregret.com. But I wouldn't even be talking about this issue unless I thought the current way the culture's going is hurting people. And it is.
Yeah.
Why would I bring all this abuse on myself?
I'd just like to say that I disagree.
Okay.
Thank you for talking to me.
Thank you, Grace.
Think about it. You are cutting parts of your body to put over a plastic that you will then assume, hey, this is my pee-pee. Or vice versa. You will remove something, create a hole that you have to dilate for a very long time because this wound will close up.
Gender reaffirming surgery. Here's a honest update. Do I regret it? Short answer is yes. Don't get me wrong, I got it done twice. It looks Barbie. Why do I regret it? Well, because I will never be able to live a normal life. After the surgery, you have to start dilating to keep the space they gave you. You start from doing it 4 times a day to once a week for the rest of your life. I was fine with that. See, the problem is I had major complications and now for some reason I need to do it every single day. Now, obviously I've had relations and girls, we all know guys don't know what to do. So it's not really worth it to me. The problem is I cannot stop. If I stop, it's going to close up and create a bubble. And that bubble could literally create an infection that could... The two options here are I dilate for the rest of my life or I get it removed surgically. Surgery goes for $70,000 and I don't want to go through that again, so I guess I'm dilating.
But anyway, let me know if you guys thought the video was educational by showing me a like, a comment, and a subscription, and see you guys in the next one. Peace.
Don't get me wrong, cosa kita bong. Put the fire na mi blonde kush hash purple skunk criollo colombici jam jam tur loqueta verdeta welcome.